Hello, my babies. Hello, my darlings. Hello, my clementines.
Ba, ba, ba.
Oh, hi, everybody.
Hi. What, Shannon, what is that delicious croissant thing it looks like you're eating?
Oh, my God, you guys.
What is it?
It looks...
I think Carrie's familiar with this place, Cafe Espresso
Yes.
on Highland Drive.
so
it
far
is-
from Lehigh.
It is a croissant, and on the inside, it's got bacon, tomato, and cheddar cheese.
That sounds
the-
delicious.
It's a whole meal right there.
And it's the best thing that's happened to me all week.
Well, let's try to top that, shall we?
Yeah, let's top it.
Fuck
Let's top it.
Good fucking luck, guys.
That's a really good croissant sandwich.
But again, Shannon, if you could just join me, I need 10 people, and we can make big money selling comic books.
Okay, how
Nine.
old?
I've already
Christmas
sent mine.
Christmas cards?
Yeah.
Christmas
How
cards.
old is that comic book?
Oh, I don't know. It's the
It
first.
doesn't look that
first,
old.
It's the first issue of Conan. It's
Nothing looks old in Carrie's house. Not even.
That's
Time
true.
closet.
Yeah, fuck it, Carrie, I'm in.
Oh wait, Shannon, there's a science kit of the month. Maybe you could
See?
make your web fluid. See?
That's what we need right there.
Fuck
There
it.
you go.
I'm
But
in.
Carrie-
I'm buying it all. I don't care anymore.
But Carrie, I can get 204 Revolutionary War soldiers for $2.98. How many cards would I have to sell to get that?
Well, I think just a few because
I'm
it
just
says
reading this issue of ROM Space Knight.
it.
What?
Oh, it says I can make 50, 100, 200, and more in my spare time, and
Wow.
it costs nothing to try.
Oh,
Fuck
this
it, Carrie.
ad-
Let's do it. Let's dominate this.
These
We
guys are looking for a few good boys and girls to sell Grit magazine.
That's right.
Great magazine.
I clearly
These
have
are
some
all-
things I
Oh,
need
it's
to.
a magazine to get gritty and tough.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
You want,
All
I
right.
need to write some emails to the FTC and report some businesses.
You better. Yeah.
want some bubble gum?
All right, let's get going. Here we go.
Wait,
Wait,
does
is-
anyone have a diagram? Can I
wait,
buy a diagram on how to build a hovercraft in any of those? I mean,
Lee, is
see.
there
Or maybe
the
that
ad
was-
for the remote control ghost?
yeah. I think those were. I think the hovercraft was in Popular Science. I think that's where you got that kit.
Oh no, it
Popular
was in
Mechanics.
this. I remember
Was
it vividly.
Oh, it was everything.
Okay, so here's the back page with all the ads, like the
Oh, look
Charles
at all
Atlas,
those.
the Charles Atlas muscle stuff,
Oh yeah,
and the prizes. for
hero
cash.
of the beach.
Yeah, the from skinny loser to big winner, get your unbeatable body, and it shows like the scrawny kid throwing a football. Like, is
You
the
say big
unbeatable body-
wiener?
Big wiener.
All right, here we go.
Big wiener.
I was thinking it too. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, you got it. I'm here for those low-hanging fruits,
Be a big wiener.
Also,
like an old man's nutsack. Low-hanging fruits.
And on a related note, boy, Carrie, I'm really glad to hear Hans and Franz back on
Oh yeah.
those strong commercials.
My wife has a theory about that because they brought back the Hans and Franz voices, but they aren't as good. So it's like the clones in Multiplicity. They just keep getting
Yeah.
worse.
They sold
All
my Volkswagen, Dave.
He's going to say it.
I like pizza.
All right, so before we start,
Hey y'all, it's Cowboy Carl Delmont
And me, Tourette's Willie.
from Star 109 Country. Join us this weekend for the Bishop's Mistake County Fair.
It's gonna be great. Hey.
That's right, Willie. Special guests include country superstar Toby Tritt Greenwood, funny man Danny the Plumber Guy, the Hartsdale's Family Freak Show, and Tony Hackett and his puppet Hot Chili, the world's naughtiest Mexican. And don't forget the annual hay eating contest.
Oh, the Bishop's Mistake County Fair.
You bet, Willie. And look out for the Star 109 Country Bumpkin. He'll be there passing around food stamps and fart spray. See y'all there.
See you.
I don't think FM dials go up to 109.
What was that from, Carrie? Come
Now,
on.
wait a minute.
That's H. John Benjamin, right?
Yeah, it sounded like it.
I used to have to sub on a country station. And I swear to God, I've done that commercial.
exactly.
H.
I had
John
a-
Benjamin is
that's-
great.
I had a character called Cousin Leroy that would call in on their show. It was like, hey, I gotta get my wife Louise out from the turnip patch.
It was a show called Freak Show, and it was by David Cross and H. John Benjamin. And one of the members of the Freak Show was was a log cabin Republican.
Oh man.
It was,
What
it
was
was,
that? TV?
It was a
show?
cartoon. It was a cartoon. Just a couple of seasons was all it lasted.
Well,
That's all it needed.
I have to find that.
Yeah, it's wonderful. All right, here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, hi.
Hooray!
Everyone's here. Well, no, Rebecca's on assignment. She's
Rebecca's right there. She's in her drum room.
Dude, that's too much pressure.
You
I
better bring
can't
the,
fill in for Rebecca. That's
bring the fire.
It sounds like she's having an unpleasant time with drunk people in the woods.
well,
Hey, when you're camping and you're texting your friends, that's usually an indication your camping trip isn't going so well.
Well, she said, I'm in the woods with drunk people and it's very stressful.
This must be after Chippendales or Thunder Down Under, whatever
Yeah,
it
this
was.
is
I saw
after.
on-
oh yeah, that's right. They all went down to Vegas.
Is this all part of the same story?
Maybe we'll have to find
I
out
swear
next
that's
week.
what she said.
Yeah, she's
All right.
camping.
Well, Jay Whitaker, everybody. Hi, Jay.
Good morning.
Hi.
nothing.
You got any gigs coming up or anything? No shows?
Yeah. I mean, I got shows. I just don't feel like plugging them. They on Instagram. Go to itsjwhitaker.com, you fucking clowns.
Someone,
Wow.
someone asked me if you still have your Moe's Def page still up.
OnlyFans? Yeah.
Your
OnlyFans. My OnlyFans is Moe's. I actually just I put a lawn mowing video up last week. I'm gonna do a weed whacking one this weekend.
All right.
A whacking one.
So, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I saw that shit on Snapchat. It's the first
I'm out
time I
there.
was actually able to achieve an erection in a while.
If it lasts more than 4 hours, please call a doctor.
Oh, it didn't.
It-
I got an erection. I got dizzy and it went away.
He got dizzy and it went away. He Shannon Barneson, everybody.
You know what?
Did it hold down?
I think that's gonna be the name of my my biopic. He got dizzy and it went away.
You know, it's funny because this is a problem now, but when he was in his 20s, he was so reliable they used him as a sundial in some municipalities.
That's true. That's true.
I used to say I could probably build a house with just my dick.
Well, because it was always
Isn't
on
that all
hold.
we want?
Welcome to the Sausage Fest for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about building houses with dicks.
Rebecca would be
Yeah.
just fine with this conversation.
She'd actually outdo us all, I
Yeah.
think.
Probably.
So weird week. Had some funny shit. Okay, kids, dude. If you're ever like having a, this sounds counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
If you're firmly entrenched on the struggle bus, just
Yeah.
awful,
Having a bad day.
bad week, or you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Sometimes a group of really goofy kids. Actually, I think I curate really goofy kids. I think I make them more goofy. I help them find their goofy. You know. Had some bad stuff happen this week, and I'm supposed to be doing state testing, the terrible state testing. The only time I'm bored at work, and I'm just like, I'm putting a pin in it. I'm not going to sit there and just be in my head, right? Mm-hmm. So I had, and actually I have more testing to do. That's getting in the way of the testing. That's the reality of being a teacher now. And I was saying, it's like, my kids are loud and they like to talk, and I had to do this other test, and I go, guys, I have a big ask. And they go, what? A big what? And they all just start laughing, right? And I go, oh, you guys, I don't have a big ask. And I turned around, I was like, look at me, I have no ask. I have no ask at all. In fact, most of my girlfriends say I just have a very long back. And we're all just laughing. So, anyway. But also they could be very cruel, and I wanted to murder a couple kids at the Living Traditions Festival yesterday. But
Oh, all right. Quad T, Too Tall Tony.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Welcome.
Wow.
Check me out on Twitter at Quad T Tony. Yeah.
All right.
Hey. Or on the Gadget
Mexican
Spot
pizza's
podcast.
back.
Can I?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is. Get down to your local T-Bell. Get that Mexican pizza. It's back.
All right.
Have it with the Baja Blast.
Can I give a
Do you
shout
really
out
call
to?
it the? Do you call it the
No,
T-Bell?
I just did that for this time. I call it Taco Bell.
Can I give a shout out to Mr. Eccles?
He's right there.
I know. I'm asking
Hi.
permission to, It may seem strange that our LDS friend and me have a pretty tight connection. And
Not all weird.
what?
I said we're not all weird.
Right. Like we shouldn't. If you just look at it on paper, we shouldn't be friends, right? But like I said, I've been struggling this week, and Tony's a great person to call if you're having a hard time.
Oh yeah, he's good at listening, good at counseling.
Well, and at counseling, honestly.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did it, you guys, on the night of his 10-year anniversary. Okay.
Wow. Now.
Now, but Tony, remember, I was like, there's no fucking way I'm calling you tonight. And you're like, well, Megan's still at work, so just call,
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I would dumped a lot of heavy shit on you that night, so I just
Broad
hope
shoulders.
I just hope I appreciate it, Tony, and you're one of the few people I was able to talk to this week. So
Anytime, Shannon.
St. Tony. All right.
Yeah.
He's on his way to get a Mexican pizza at the T-Bell. He's Lee George Cade, everybody.
Yeah, right.
No?
No.
No?
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine that shit.
Like, excuse me, lad. Can you bring me one of your fresh Mexican pizzas, but take all the shit off of it that I don't eat?
That's just the ground
Just
beef.
everything.
See the quotes? See
Yeah,
the quotes?
It's mostly soy.
Friends, I know we had a frost scare the other night, and we all rushed to bring in our baby strawberries. But
Yes.
I think it's safe to bring him back outside and perhaps put him in the ground. Just keep your shade cloth handy, because remember, if it drops down to freezing again, you can just build them a little tent that they can nest in and stay warm overnight. That's your farm report from Geek Show Podcast.
Thank you with the farm report.
Once a year, every year.
That's
No,
right.
Frisch never served
Thanks, farm
Mexican
boy.
pizzas.
Oh, we got both kinds. We got country and western.
Yeah, that's right.
And sitting, our returning champion, Mike Anderson, everybody. Hi, Mike.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Mike
If anybody
is,
wants, I do things. I represent people sometimes. If you
Order.
business and less order for sure. But
Wait,
you can follow me on Twitter, MSA Esquire.
So, Mike, you represent people like Rich Little, like you do. Let me hear your Reagan.
Trust but verify.
Mike is going to defend Avatar later in the program.
Yeah, he represents the blue people.
I've already turned my meter on. Carrie knows my hourly rate.
I find you in contempt, sir.
Oh, no.
Throwing this out.
And spoiler alert, I agree with him, and it's coming up.
Now, I was almost, because you told me, you gave us heads up that this was coming. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, maybe I should watch that movie again. And then I went, nah.
We got to introduce you, Carrie. Though we have to,
okay, all right.
Mr. Carrie Jackson.
Oh, hi. Monday
Our
through
fearless
Friday.
leader.
Monday through Friday, 6 to 10, x96.com for now. All right. The big news. This is a sad day.
That's an
But the
awfully short paragraph for big news.
It's the big story that everyone is talking about. We're not going to get the Wonder Twins movie.
I saw that.
Yeah.
You saw my reaction on Twitter to that.
What do you mean? Wall Street Journal confirms Warner Brothers has canceled the Wonder Twins movie at HBO Max. The decision comes from David Zaslav, the incoming CEO of the recent WB Discovery merger, who dismissed the project as too niche.
Yeah, you think?
So
And,
someone came in and looked at it and said, "Hey, what are we doing this for?"
He also said
for 75 million, Tony. That's what they were doing it for.
And he also said that he's imposed a mandate that all future DC movies should be made with a theatrical release in mind. And he also said any projects done exclusively for HBO Max should cost no more than $30 million. Good luck.
So I just got to give a heads up. Watch out, El Diablo. You're next.
I've got a conspiracy brain for you on this one.
Please.
I think that there's something really interesting going on with Warner Brothers right now. I've heard from several high-level Hollywood executives. But I'm going to couch this all as speculation because I don't know for sure. We remember through the pandemic that Warner decided to release all of their theatrical releases with day and date streaming. And that caused a lot of the prolific producers, directors, and actors. We remember the lawsuits that we've heard about. There were other disputes that happened behind the scenes. So I think what might be happening here, if you and once I say this, read this quote again because I think that there are some interesting things that he says there. 75 million is above a moderate budget theatrical release. He also says all of our films are going to have a theatrical release. I think that it's possible Warner could be suffering some blowback from having the lack of creatives to collaborate with, and that also perhaps prompted the sale. Because you ask yourself, why would AT&T sell Warner Brothers?
Yeah,
could have prompted the sale. From AT&T to Discovery. Discovery bought Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
that's wild, guys.
Yeah,
that's so.
I didn't know
something is.
It's not a
Something
merger.
is.
It was a
something
buyout.
is. It was.
Yeah, it was a buy. It was like
Wow. I didn't know Discovery had that kind of money.
Yeah, Shark
Exactly.
Week bought Batman and Superman.
Yeah. So Discovery acquires Warner Brothers with all of its subsidiaries from AT&T. That's something is happening. I think that this is a business and legal piece where they're trying to win back some of the people that the creatives that they depended on, because that's still that we don't have the old Hollywood system anymore where you sign an exclusive agreement and you're with RKO forever and ever.
Yeah.
But so people do bounce around, but you still have some aspects of that, and Warner Brothers needs collaborators.
Well, and also,
they do.
if you think back historically about just their work with DC properties, like basically forever, it's been a hot mess.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
You know?
It is the definition of hit or miss.
Yeah,
with-
I mean,
with that
unless
stuff.
you give it to James Gunn and let him do what he wants with it, and that new Batman movie.
The new Batman movie,
Reeves.
You know.
Was that
You
who
know?
was it, Matt Reeves?
Yeah.
and the Aquaman, I like the Aquaman, but
I liked it. Yeah. Carrie's shaking his head.
no,
I liked it though.
Not for me.
It
Not
was
for me.
reverse
no,
Black
it was
Panther.
big dumb
It's fine.
fun.
Reverse.
I hear
Black Panther.
Rebecca liked the
all it was.
Aquaman at her Vegas party.
At her party, yeah. But now see,
was a good
that's why you have a lawyer on the show to find these things out. Speaking of attorneys, She-Hulk.
Birdman?
Oh my
Oh,
God,
I wish.
man.
Oh yeah.
She-Hulk Attorney at Law dropped the first trailer on Tuesday, and it was hilarious and intense and wonderful
And a little sexy.
a little bit. And apparently people liked it. In the first 24 hours, it got 78 million views.
Nice.
People checking it out.
That parts of that trailer made me dizzy.
And just a reminder to people that Schmeagol didn't look good 3 months before Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
was released
Yeah.
either. so.
Relax.
That's-
There's 3
yeah.
months of refinement, and you don't even know at what point in the process they took these shots
Exactly.
from. So
Exactly.
the
Can we
CGI
go
will be
full
better.
screen and enhance?
My problem isn't the CGI.
can't.
She just went to the wrong law school. I'm a Matt Murdock stan. Columbia Law School for
I'm
that.
just, I'm just upset that they didn't call it Ally McHulk.
Hulky
Would it be
McNeil.
great?
Melissa Flockhart.
And there's like a boy, all gender bathroom, and like maybe the Thing will walk out.
No, and then every night when she starts to go to sleep, it's like little dancing leader in her head.
I can't. I
Big
hope
green
there's
head.
just so many cameos. I would love it.
It would be Dancing Puck from Alpha Flight.
No.
That's right. Now, to keep in mind the 78 million views, that's the second largest debut for Marvel Studios TV series behind Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, that included a Super Bowl spot as well. So,
But still not as much as Avatar.
we'll get to that. But I thoroughly enjoyed the She-Hulk trailer. I'm looking forward to that. Another trailer that we got this week, The Boys, Season 3.
Oh, my goodness.
I missed that one. Sorry.
I haven't watched that
you
one
get
either.
no picture.
Sorry. Just Google The Boys, Season 3, There's Something Wrong with Homelander.
Get ready for some
What?
craziness
The fact
in that trailer.
What do you mean there's something wrong with him? There's always been something wrong with him.
Well,
There's
racist.
many things wrong with Homelander.
The problem is that
He's a white
Homelander
supremacist with daddy issues.
suddenly thinks that people like him for his true self.
Ooh.
So he's not afraid
most
to
white
be that.
supremacists.
Exactly.
I love they make a character who's actually an analogy for modern day America.
I know, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
perfect.
I read this. I read this article where they're doing the cum scene,
Herogasm.
the hero-gasm, and filming it was actually traumatizing for the people
Yeah.
on the set.
June 3rd is when that starts up again on your Amazon, your Prime Video. So look for that. Another trailer that we got this week. Now this one is just a very, very short one, but it gave me, it interested me.
Sorry,
Because-
my pictures are really small today for some reason.
Just zoom,
the-
just
full
zoom in and
screen.
enhance.
Yeah.
Well, the internet is on to us. They're starting to make the pictures smaller.
Enhance.
there we go.
Enhance.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Enhance.
Yes.
There
Enhance.
you
There
go.
you go.
Now,
Pixelated
Sad.
now.
This is
Now this-
sad.
this is
a plot test.
well, you can look this up. It's the first footage from Prey, which is the next Predator movie.
Dude, I didn't.
Oh, I saw that shit.
And I actually forgot because I know we talked about it, and I forgot it was a thing.
That's what got me is that I just clicked on it. I mean I sort of in the back of my head remembered that it was a Predator prequel. And
It
this
looks cool.
it looked great because it's Daniel Trachtenberg is directing this. And it's quiet. There's no real audio. You can watch it at work with the sound off. And what it does is here's the plot. It's going to focus less on the Predator being out of time, but instead one of his opponents, Naru, a young Comanche warrior trained as a hunter who finds herself fighting for her tribe and her own survival when this highly evolved alien warrior finds itself hunting her home and her people. So this takes place in the 1800s.
Yeah.
But it's a great scene because, they can tell that the Predator is there. It's invisible, but they can tell. And then suddenly the three laser points
Oh yeah. No,
appear
so
on their foreheads. Oh, it's great. Great.
It's on Is it on Amazon?
Hulu. It'll be on
It's
Hulu.
on Hulu. And it played before something I was going to watch on Hulu. And I didn't know what it was, right? Because it just starts with this Native American girl running out of the woods in like this. It's kind of like foggy and stuff. And she's just running like hell, right?
Oh yeah, it's very very dramatic.
And all of a sudden, this. So that was a girl. I thought it was a boy. Somebody pops up in their war paint, right? And it grabs her, brings her down into the grass with her, and it's like shh. And they just sit there, and then they're just focusing on the distance, and you hear the.
Lee does the clicking noise good. Lee, do the clicking noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
And then the three
How do you
lights.
do that?
Yeah, the three lights hit.
And then the three lights come on.
This will be
man.
Hulu August 5th. Produced by Comanche Nation member Jehane Myers, along with Trachtenberg and John Davis. It has a cast comprised almost entirely of Native and First Nations talent.
Nice.
It says here, including Amber Midthunder, Dakota Beavers, Stormy
She's
Kip.
from Legion.
Oh, Michelle Trush and Julian Black Antelope. So,
Yeah, I-
About time.
The thing that
That's
gives me
cool.
the most hope for this is that the director did 10 Cloverfield Lane. Did you guys see
That's
that?
why I recognize his name.
It's just atmosphere and suspense. And
if you want to see a fantastic First Nations movie, I don't remember it. You just Google the plot synopsis and it'll pop up. But basically, the zombie epidemic hits, and the only people that are immune are First Nations folks. So the white folks start coming to the reservations to try to get safe, and the First Nations folks are like,
Nah.
fuck you. So it's literally, it's pretty badass. It's a really good zombie movie, and I'll have to look it up because it's great.
Look it up because I want to watch that now.
Yeah.
Another trailer.
I'm just gonna say this teaser did its job.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in.
I'm waiting for this now.
I'm in. We also got season 3 of Umbrella Academy trailer. That's June 22nd on Netflix.
The name.
I'll give it a watch. I like the first 2 seasons.
That's fine.
Well, the end of the second season, of course, we either, I guess, universe shifted.
Yeah, something like that.
And
alternate
so
timeline.
And so our group landed in the Sparrow Academy, and so it's I'm actually back into this. I wasn't so sure about Umbrella Academy, but this trailer made me go, okay, well, show me what you got. After putting a stop to 1963's Doomsday, the Umbrella Academy return home to the present, convinced they've prevented the apocalypse and fixed the timeline once and for all, but then they realize it's not okay. And it's a funny little trailer, but June 22nd on Netflix, you can go and look at that. And then another thing that you can watch the first 8 minutes of Stranger Things Season 4. That's out on the web.
You know what's funny is kids love that show.
They do.
And they're so excited. Like, they'll run up to me. Stranger Things coming! I'm like, I know. You know?
This
39-year-old lawyers love that show, too.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm in on this.
No, I love it, too. I'm just saying, I think it's odd that
Still need to catch up.
little Hispanic kids love it so much.
It's Season 4 of Stranger Things debuts May 27th on Netflix, so you can watch the first 8 minutes of it now. They're breaking up the release a little bit. The season is split into 2 volumes. It's a little bit unorthodox. The first 7 episodes will debut on May 7th, and the final 2 on July 1st.
Okay.
The final 2 are apparently like movie-length episodes.
Yeah, they're like 2.5+ hours each.
So
Is this it for it? Is this the final season?
If I understand correctly, it is.
Well, those kids are all almost adults now.
Yeah, they're
I saw Millie
18
Bobby
and
Brown.
over now.
I saw Millie Bobby Brown on one of the talk shows the other night. And I was like, "Who? That's not the kid." But it's the kid.
Yeah. According to the showrunners, it's the end. And while I would never doubt that the studio can back up money and make more seasons happen, Netflix typically doesn't do that, and they spend other things they're dealing with right now.
They like cutting shows.
They do, but they spent a ton of money on this season apparently.
$15 million an episode, I think.
What I'd really like to see now is a show that actually focused on how shitty the 80s were. We keep getting this 80s nostalgia. They're like, oh, it's fine. We had bikes.
Well, I have one for you, and I'll talk about it at the end of the show.
Somebody just said that Millie doesn't look like a little kid anymore.
Yeah, she's 21 now?
Oh, that's sad. So Drake probably doesn't call her anymore.
All right. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Maybe.
The name of the show I was talking about is called Blood Quantum.
Blood Quantum.
Yes.
That's a cool name, even.
It is.
Damn cool name.
It's a heavy metal band.
Damn cool name. And you can watch it on the Roku channel.
The Roku.
Roku channel.
All right.
No, it's really cool, though, because it's all First Nations people. They produced it. They wrote it. They directed it. It's badass.
All right. Let's see. Okay, let's continue. And we're back. Okay. This was interesting news to me when I read it because, like Mike, we are Daredevil fans.
Oh, yeah.
And, I knew they would bring back Daredevil to some extent because, well, they showed up.
No.
They showed up in
that story too.
In the Spider-Man and in the Hawkeye show, And I heard that they were probably going to be featured on the Echo series, which has just started filming a few weeks ago. But they apparently are getting ready to do a new season of Daredevil for Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I bet they'll soften it up a little bit. There's no way they go as hard as they did on Netflix.
Well, if you notice, the Kingpin and Daredevil in No Way Home and in the Hawkeye show, they seemed slightly different.
Yeah, they were a little tweaked for sure.
They were,
They're variants.
Multiverse.
Well, yeah, that's all you got to say. You're right.
That's all you got to say. But Matt Corman and Chris Ord have been tapped to write and executive produce the series. It'll be the first of the Netflix Marvel shows to get a new but continued series.
Yeah. Because how could they not use those two guys in those roles?
They're so good.
Because they're perfect.
D'Onofrio is just absolutely perfect in that role. I can't imagine anybody else playing Kingpin besides D'Onofrio.
And we saw that he could still be scary without crushing somebody's head in a door.
Yeah, car door.
Car door.
That scene blew my mind the first time I saw it.
Not as much as it blew that guy's mind.
Got him.
But interestingly enough, that scene was largely unnecessary, right? Like, it established that he's a badass and that he'll smash somebody's head with the car door. But really, you didn't need it. So you can do Kingpin and have him terrifying without the graphic violence.
Although what I do now is after I have a temper tantrum, which is rare anymore, but after I have a temper tantrum, I always end it with, "You embarrassed me in front of Vanessa."
Yeah, there you go.
I thought you were about to explain the pile of headless bodies in your backyard.
Yes, exactly.
So Bug Hunter in the chat said something about, it would be really great if Disney put out another season of Punisher. Now, from what we're understanding, Punisher as a character, Disney's kind of pulling back on right now.
Yeah.
Well, in the comics, they've completely changed his character.
His character is completely different now. He
doesn't wear the Blue Life Matters skull anymore. And he
does he just ground people now?
Well, and he doesn't use guns.
No, he's apparently a demon hunter now or something like that. It's some sort of
the head. I thought he was the head of the Hand.
It's something. Yeah. It's something that's not going to work. Just like when they try to make him an angel or whatever the fuck.
Well, the only time it ever worked is when they made him a Frankenstein.
That was great.
Well, that's because it was Rick Remender, dude.
And the name just fits. Frankenstein.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Also getting a spin-off, apparently. Rick and Morty, another one.
Yeah.
But this will. Yeah. Well, how did you feel about the anime episodes, Tony?
I thought they were cool. I mean, they were different. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't all have to be the same flavor.
When did that come out? You guys, I've been so behind.
There were some anime episodes, a couple of them.
At the end of the last season.
Oh,
yeah, most of it is online. You could go to Adult Swim and look at it. But they have ordered 10 episodes of Rick and Morty, the anime. Yeah. So it's Takashi Sano, who did Tower of God. He previously directed the two anime shorts, Rick and Morty Universe. Rick and Morty versus Genocider and Summer Meets God, Rick Meets Evil were the two episodes.
Yeah, I gotta watch that shit.
But it was like huge online, 10 million combined views on Adult Swim digital platform. So they went, okay, you want it? You got it.
Give me more Australian episodes. That's what I
Oh my gosh, that Australian episode was just bonkers.
That was funny. Let's see. Can I coax you to talk about a Star Wars, Lee?
Sure.
See that there? That's the cover of the new book, Star Wars: Shadow of the Sith.
Dang, that's cool art.
It's a story that is, the stars are Luke and Lando.
Can we full screen that? I want to see it, please.
Zoom it up a little bit there. But in it, we find out the name. Well, the story of Rey's parents and their names. Rey from the final 3 Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Because that's what the fans are asking for.
Now, we only see them briefly in Rise of Skywalker. Their names are Dathan and Miramir.
Oh, I'm like, thank God it's not Martha.
Martha!
And if you look, I know you haven't looked at that movie, Rise of Skywalker, in a while, but if you go back and look, Rey's mother is Jodie Comer from Killing Eve.
Yeah, because they thought, hey, let's take one of the best upcoming actresses of this generation and give her a cameo in a fucking Star Wars movie playing Beep Boop Palpatine.
So most of the story is Luke and Lando, but the excerpt showing Miramir and Dathan, they have escaped by way of a very dilapidated and underserviced ship purchased from Unkar Plutt outside of Jakku's Nilma Outpost. God, I hate Star Wars names. Nima Outpost. And
Why can't
how
it just
that
be John Johnson?
How that exactly? How that
Bob
figures in?
Allen. I'm Bob Allen.
Remember that comment for later when we're talking about Avatar.
I know, right? But it takes place 20 years after the Battle of Endor. Follows Lando and Luke. Luke has sensed a disturbance in the Force, and Calrissian is looking for his daughter, which was presumably also in The Rise of Skywalker.
She was. They've talked about that would have been, if they had stuck to any semblance of a script, that would have been Lando's daughter.
So I guess we'll get the explanation of how he misplaced the child to begin with and all of that.
He probably didn't know about her until 2 or 3 years after the deed.
I was gonna say Lando's probably misplaced
he gets
a bunch
around.
of kids. You know what I mean?
But Dathan...
He's misplaced many a kid in a uterus.
So would it be Dathan Palpatine? Would that be his name?
I don't know.
And he doesn't care.
What I want to know, and it goes back to something that Rebecca and I had this debate when that Abomination came out.
Wow.
Does Palpatine fuck?
Apparently...
Or is the kid a clone?
That's a clone for sure. He doesn't have the time or the stamina.
I think.
Does
when he got all fucked up, I'm pretty sure his dick burned off.
When he's getting ready to climax, does he just go unlimited power?
See, that would be funny, but I just don't think he cares about that kind of thing enough. He'd just be like, I'm just going to clone it. I got other things to do.
I find that your friends and yourself are greatly mistaken about the power of this fully operational erection.
Yeah, now, one, I firmly do believe that his dick burned off. And two, if he could have an orgasm, how would he not force lightning just all over the place and electrocute? You know?
It's a good question. Or is it?
That's how Snoke got those scars.
That's how Snoke got his scars.
Snoke, yes. Thank you.
Force lightning from the inside is one way to go.
Hey, Snoke, come on over. Daddy wants to talk.
No.
All right.
Let's don't do it.
I need to take a
If you
shower.
say anything, I'll kill your non-existent family.
Okay, back to Amazon Prime. They have hired Nicole Castle as the series director for a live-action She-Ra, Princess of Power.
Nice. Oh, really?
Live action, yes.
Okay.
She is well known as a streaming director, executive producer. She's worked on Watchmen, Westworld, The Leftovers, all those happy shows.
Yeah.
The pilot order's still up in the air, but if they're asking her to do it, I think they're pretty serious, and it would be the first time that the characters appeared in a live-action show.
I like the She-Ra show on Netflix. It's cute.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yep.
If you have daughters, certainly introduce them to it.
I was going to say, it is. It's pretty chipper and charming, so
Yep.
let's get the lady that made The Leftovers.
Exactly. I want to do something fun for a change, something that doesn't make people cry.
No, like when it comes out, they'll be like, there's been a spike in child suicides.
The Leftovers was a depressing show.
Yeah, it was. I had to stop watching it. I couldn't take it anymore.
It's really good.
How many
really
it's
seasons
delightful.
did it go for?
Three seasons.
I just figured you stopped watching it because that Leftovers exhibit at Comic-Con stole your pass.
It's true.
Jesus Christ. One of the worst moments of my life. I'm just like, oh no.
Let's see. The BBC has confirmed that Doctor Who's 60th anniversary celebration in 2023 will see David Tennant and Catherine Tate return
Donna
as the 10th Doctor and Donna Noble. It'll probably just be, a guest appearance because as we told you last week, we've cast a new Doctor.
Not my doctor.
So it's multiple universes, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, you'll just have to wait for it. This is Doctor Who returns to BBC America later this year.
I love how Doctor Who has such important canon rules that they just frequently throw out the window.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, when you get written into a corner, you got to do something, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, comic books have been doing it for 80 years as well, so, I mean, who cares?
This is not genre-related, but I wanted to report it because it is a tragedy in that she is a national treasure. Now, the headline is about somebody else, but for me, the big story is Kate McKinnon is leaving Saturday Night Live.
No.
Yeah. The headline is about Pete Davidson. I'll be honest with you. Pete Davidson hasn't been on the show for about 5 or 6 episodes, all right?
Well, he's busy.
Yeah. The people leaving this year are Pete Davidson, Kate McKinnon, Adie Bryant. It's also a tragedy because she's funny as hell.
Amazing.
Yeah, damn it.
And Kyle Mooney is also leaving.
Oh, that.
So,
Wow, that's like
Yeah,
a couple of
it's a
really
big
good
loss.
If
Yeah.
Cecily Strong left, they wouldn't know what to do. They wouldn't have anybody on the show anymore.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I disagree because
I know that's been really good lately.
they're deep bench. They got a good deep bench. I think. Set
They
up
do.
ready to go.
They do.
I'm really sorry, guys. I looked all over the internet for pictures of Kate McKinnon, and all I could find was pictures of her from that Ghostbusters movie that people hate so much.
Oh, you'll get no complaint from me because
Yeah.
I love her.
There's not
I love her
a single
dearly.
picture I could find that was usable of Kate McKinnon that wasn't from Ghostbusters.
So
I love Bowen Yang and the new guy that they have that does the great impressions.
Oh, John David.
Whatever his name is.
Three names.
He's great, and he's great even when he's not doing impressions.
Here's the
you know?
thing: that guy is he's like an impression machine. He
Yeah.
can do anybody.
Well-
I heard him being interviewed, and they said, "We hear you do a great Bob Dylan," and he said, "What age would you like?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, it's not like aping like how Alec Baldwin.
Yeah,
like-
or
Oh,
a Dana
Trump.
Carvey.
Or-
Yeah.
It's like them. You know, like I went back and looked at some of his Trump stuff before he was on Saturday Night Live, and go to YouTube and type in Trump Scooby Doo, and it's just him ranting about what does Scooby actually do, and it's
Melissa-
fucking hilarious.
Melissa Villaseñor also does some fantastic impressions.
She's good.
Yes.
And I'm glad.
is
Her
wonderful.
sexy Luke Wilson or Owen Wilson is just about the funniest damn thing I've ever heard.
she needs to be used more. I've said that
she does.
for years.
She's so funny.
She's very funny.
Yeah.
So we're losing those 4, and it was the season finale tonight. Well, at the time that we're recording this, by the time you hear this, it will be done, and that will be the last time that you will see them.
Oh, that
Who's
yeah.
hosting?
So we're gonna pretend like we just saw it. Yeah, that episode was great. It's so sad. They are
Japanese
amazing.
breakfast was great again, of course.
I mean, unless something changes with this episode, I think Oscar Isaac had the best episode this season.
Could be.
He was great.
Because that whole my name's Michael B. Jackson. I'm the janitor. Let me tell you my Dua Lipa fan fiction.
Do we
That
know
was-
who's hosting tonight?
It's Natasha Lyonne from Russian
Oh,
Doll.
she's so
Oh,
good.
she's great.
She is great. All right, a couple of final things, and then we'll get to Avatar and what we watched this week. And this is I need the lawyer again here because the headline is Stan Lee returns to Marvel Studios with Genius Brands POW Entertainment licensing deal.
Wait, he's dead.
They've signed a 20-year deal with Stan Lee Universe
But he's-
to license the name and likeness of Lee for use in future feature films, television productions, Disney theme parks, and experiences.
I don't like this.
He's dead.
What are they going to put, like, animatronic Stan Lees around the parks and stuff? I mean,
Here's what it says, according to the CEO of Genius Brands. It really ensures that Stan, through digital technology and archival footage and other forms, will live in the most important venue, the Marvel movies and Disney theme parks.
But I just Googled it. He's dead.
Yeah. So it's unclear if, we're going to see, digital Stan somewhere. It doesn't really give me this is a story from the Hollywood Reporter. It doesn't give me a lot of, okay, here we go. it's permission to use Lee's name, voice, likeness, and signature in movies and television products, as well as to use images, existing footage, and existing audio recordings featuring him. The rights to use Lee's name, voice, likeness, and signature exclusively in theme parks, cruise lines, and in-park merchandise were also included. Audiences and park-goers could see Lee turn up as figures, toys, apparel, stationery, video games, and VR.
So,
Yeah, but-
his kids are like, had to have this conversation with his grandkids. It's like, so guys, it might be a little disturbing to you, but there's gonna be a robot peepop, here and there, and I know it's gonna be very disturbing, but we're getting that money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, buckle up because it's about to get boring. Here comes the legal explanation. Unless the contracts that were previously signed allowed for the use of his name, image, and likeness in perpetuity, somebody would need a new permission from his estate because those rights go to his beneficiaries. And they need permission from the beneficiaries or the heirs or wherever the rights ended up to use them for new purposes. So even if they have old pictures, they need permission to use those old pictures for a new use. And this is also sort of the Grand Moff Tarkin and Princess Leia type stuff where we might see him show up in the MCU again, which, show me what you got.
Yeah,
I bet Carrie, if it took you out of the movies before.
Well, the one time that it worked for me was, well, two times. When at the end of the movie he was a watcher, or he was talking to the watchers. Yeah. That didn't take me out of the movie. I was okay with that. But also at the end of Civil War, where he's the FedEx delivery guy, that was fine with me. Yeah. And he also gave us, "Are you Tony Stank?" I just love that.
I love the into the Spider-Verse scenes. Just wrecked me. Those were so good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Raise a glass. Raise a glass, everybody. Because Vangelis has died.
Ooh.
Well, and he did the Blade Runner music.
Peter Jackson was in Flock of Seagulls.
And he did. He won an Oscar for
Chariots of Fire. But you'll remember
the Blade Runner music.
Blade Runner, yeah, he did the Blade Runner soundtrack. So 1982.
Listen to that saxophone.
Dude, this fucks.
Synthetic synthesizer.
Yeah, all keyboard.
Oh my god.
Listen to that synthesax.
Synthesax.
I want to simulate love to a robot.
He died in a French hospital while being treated for COVID. So maybe he was anti-vax jealous.
Well, at this point and at his age, he could be vaccinated, he could be boosted, and it could still be a death sentence.
Yeah, wasn't he like 83 or something like that?
Yeah, he was up there.
COVID doesn't care if you're pro-vax or anti-vax when you're 83.
That's true. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with Defending Avatar and what you guys have consumed this week. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah, Jay, you were pretty fast on that, man.
Yeah, fuck all that. I don't need to hear that shit.
No, you don't.
Yep.
I was like literally right there. But anyway, we'll talk about that off camera.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't even need to talk about it.
Yeah, we're good.
That's just how
It's been enough with Buffalo.
Permaband.
So I'm done.
Yep.
I don't have that kind of space and energy for that shit. Oh.
Nope.
All right. Are we ready? Here we go. And we're back. Okay.
So, Carrie?
Yes.
Can I bring the room down for just a second so it doesn't end on a bummer note?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'd like to, just real quick.
Okay.
I wouldn't like to. We raised a glass to Blade Runner guy. But now I would like to raise a glass to my sweet pit bull Tilly, who passed away in my kitchen on Tuesday. You guys knew her.
Yeah.
Yep.
The sweetest goddamn dog. Actually, I don't even know if she was a dog. I really think she was a person pretending to be a dog. I got her right after my family died and right before Jeffy passed away. And I don't think I'd be here without that dog, if that makes sense. That was like, I got somebody I got to take care of and keep alive, and guess that means I got to stay alive too, right? And we had a very special relationship. You guys remember I never had to put her on a leash because she just, right, Lee, like she had to be where I was, right?
Yeah, she was glued to you.
Yeah, and so that was really hard. Triggered some really crappy deja vus, but I'm glad she's not hurting anymore. And the reason I wanted to do this on the show, because we were talking before the show, is a very important moment played out when I first got her. Now, it's a pit bull, and I've heard you hear all the stories.
Yeah.
They're evil. They're going to kill you, right? And Jesus Christ, that
They're going to eat your burrito.
Yeah, well, you're right. But, like, she never bit another dog or anything ever. But, yeah. So when I first got her, it's when we were still recording in the basement. And I'm like halfway through the episode, I'm like, oh, shit. I left that surf and turf burrito from Del Taco right sitting down on the coffee table. Well, that dog's going to get that. And
She had more self-control than me. I would have eaten
right.
it.
And it's like, and she's going to shit all over my house. I'm going to come home to so much shit, you know? And I was obsessing about it the whole show. And I got home. She didn't touch it.
Wow.
At all. And but the best thing was I kept getting messages on Facebook from people who were listening to the show. Did she eat the burrito?
Is she okay?
Yeah. So anyway, my Tilly girl, I hope she's, all that Rainbow Bridge shit is true. And I hope Jeffy's up there cuddling with her. And Jimmy is slapping her on the ass as hard as he can, as he did. And she loved it. So,
all
anyway.
right. Raise a glass. Raise a glass. All right. We're going to find out what you guys have been consuming this week. But Mike is here. Mike and I we've been talking a lot lately, but he reached out to me and he said, I can defend Avatar. Because
I've defended worse.
This is true.
Well, I know someone who begs to differ. Just look on this face will tell you exactly. This person does not believe you can defend Avatar.
Well, let's find out. Now, what happened was
right there, he's like, "Fuck, you can't defend it."
I'm gonna have to increase my hourly rate.
That's right. The trailer came out for Avatar 2, and it was huge online, just millions and millions of views.
This is my mom. My mom did that in one day.
Is the name of the new Avatar movie Avatar 2: Electric Blue Lagoon?
Get out.
Oh, come on! That was a good joke.
No, you come on back in. You come on back right back in.
Electric Blue Lagoon, come on!
There you go. But Gregor in the chat room says prediction: Avatar 2 will make all the money and destroy every box office record because Avatar
my mom
fans
has a lot of disposable income.
So now, I finally saw it. I saw the Rift Tracks version, but I finally saw it. It was a long time ago. But Mike has a different take on this, and I'll state I agree with him. So.
Yeah, so
Mr. Anderson, please.
Let's hear this.
I've got
you
the
have
floor.
The floor.
5 minutes for argument, 2.5 minutes for rebuttal. All right, I'll watch for
Robert's
the
rules.
Kind of time.
So first, let's start with not everything is for everyone, and that's okay, right? Yeah. So Also, let's get
that
a few
old chestnut.
Let's get a few common complaints out of the way. The first is it's too derivative, and I would say everything is a remix. A New Hope was Hidden Fortress plus Buck Rogers plus the Flash Gordon plus a bunch of other things. Everything we watch, plus everything we watch is inspired by everything that came before it. Nothing's created
like Fern Gully.
Yeah, nothing's created in a vacuum. So, and I'll get to Ferngully in a sec. So, second, it's too dumb. Not more so than other things that we like. Spice, whether you're a Dune fan or a Star Wars fan. Power Stones, RoboCop. That's the stupidest name ever, but it's an incredible an incredibly stupid movie.
How dare you?
Let me actually address specifically unobtainium. People say, well, that's ridiculous. Gina the other day was saying, unobtainium. What about that? Well, all right, let me give you some other stupid names we have in real life. And by the way, corporate America throws out stupid names all the time. But let me give you some chemical.
No can find him.
Let me give you some chemical names, okay?
Where is it him?
Arsole, Barf, Buckminster Fullerene, or Buckyballs, which was named after Buckminster Fulster, and also called footballine because it looks like a soccer ball. Cadaverine, which is from dead animal tissue. Crapanon, side effect is constipation. Coming Tonight, not to be confused with Coming Tonight because it was invented in Cummington, Massachusetts. Draculin, which is from the saliva of vampire bats. Fartox, moronic acid.
Wait.
Unarnate, unanimity. What?
Did you say Fartox?
Fartox?
What's that? How do I get it?
Unaninium.
Fartox.
Californium, Einsteinium. Go ahead, Lee.
Oh, Fartox is actually made from the farts of vampire bats.
Anyway, I could go on, but
Mike,
we have lots of dumb names for things.
Mike, I remember one time me and my ex-wife were watching TV and a commercial came on for some pill. I can't remember what it did, but it was like, ask if Ass-Effects is right for you. And we're like, Ass-Effects? How did this get on TV? You know what I mean?
That's his
Hot
point.
dog fingers, reverse vampirism, other side effects. So then third, it's been too long between films. Well, yeah, but it also took 15 years to make the first Avatar because it was doing things that were completely unprecedented. And I'll get to that.
Star Citizen all the time, and no one listens.
Well, it's still not out
so
yet.
I'll pick up that point in a second. Another complaint, there's not enough lore. Well, it's unfair to compare one film to film properties with multiple installments or books or comics that came before or after, etc.
But Mike, it was 7 hours long.
So, and then, flat dialogue. Okay, fair. But have you seen other sci-fi movies? How about Star Trek, Star Wars? Harrison Ford
Go to
famously
Tazi
said,
Station to get some power.
I know you typed these words, George, but can you say them?
Exactly.
Finally, anti-American. Well, perhaps you're projecting your own insecurities, and perhaps you're right. But if there's a reason you dislike it, I expect you to similarly dislike Star Wars, which was the Viet Cong rebels versus the American Empire, and there are countless other examples in sci-fi. So now let's talk about the merits. Okay, so I wanted to deal with the complaints, but that's a negative argument, right? But now I'm going to.
God damn, he's a good fucking lawyer.
I want to talk about, affirmatively promote the positive aspects of Avatar. So put this back in context. We got to rewind back to 2009, set aside all the hype that came, during and after the release. This movie was supposed to bomb. It was 15 years in the making, $200 million. It was supposed to be a massive bomb, and it ended up being the biggest movie of all time. There are countless classic films that if you were to just stumble upon them now, they wouldn't seem that significant. Citizen Kane, if you don't put that in context, I've heard lots of people say they've watched it and it was incredibly boring. Fair enough, okay, but put this movie back in its chronology and keep that in mind as I talk through the rest of this. So, without Avatar, James Cameron would not have changed filmmaking and film technology the way he did. A lot of people have defended Phantom Menace and the prequels for the same reason, but did you think that Planet of the Apes was cool? How about Thanos, Rocket Raccoon?
De-aging?
You can thank Avatar for that technology, especially motion capture in particular. Avatar had a mocap stage that was 6 times larger than had ever previously been created, in addition to special cameras and everything else. That stage had more volume than any other mocap stage before. So if you like The Mandalorian, you can thank Avatar for the volume that Jon Favreau used to make that movie possible. I've either really angered Shannon or there's something else going on.
I think it's something else.
No, I gotta step away and think.
So,
My fucking worldview.
so, and I know I'm on the clock. Reserve your rebuttal, sir. It's my stage. This is my podium.
Reclaiming my time.
So it also, in 2009, helped rejuvenate the film industry and bring people back to theaters. We're dealing with that right now, and so it's just by coincidence, but I find that really interesting. So do you like watching Marvel movies or DC movies or whatever in IMAX? Well, thank you, Avatar, for establishing IMAX as a viable wide theatrical release option. And I'll also say personally, when I saw it in IMAX 3D, I hadn't seen anything like that in the theater ever, and it was a really cool experience. I wasn't in love with the movie, but the way some other people reacted, but I thought, wow, that was really cool. And it was a must-see experience in the theaters in 2009. Now, to the content. The themes are all positive things that I think we should be thinking about as a society. Race relations, environmental stewardship, imperialism, colonialism, corporate greed. How do we define terrorism? When the World Tree falls like the World Trade Center because of formal military power, is that a legitimate use of power or not? Obviously, this film has a perspective on that. It also addresses spirituality, religion. Could the treatment of these themes be deeper? Of course. There's no doubt about that. I mean, it's kind of surface level on a lot of these themes. And so there are fair criticisms, not only of the depth of treatment of those themes, but also, white savior complex, noble savages. So I'm not saying that there aren't legitimate criticisms, but I think that we can also look at the positives here. The fact that it got kids and other people excited about these themes, and they'll never sit through Ferngully or Pocahontas or Romeo and Juliet, John Carter, read the John Carter books, watch Princess Mononoke, Dances with Wolves, 2001 Space Odyssey, Lawrence of Arabia, Ghost in the Shell, James Cameron's other work that he was paying homage to throughout Avatar. He's an auteur, and I think just chalking all of this up as he was ripping off Ferngully or Pocahontas is a real oversimplification, and frankly, it to some extent, if people aren't just saying that to be funny, I don't mean any disrespect to those people, but I think that it kind of shows their surface level understanding of film history and these themes and the way that this all works. So all of that, perhaps it's imperfect, but I think that overall it's doing more good than harm. Now, this is the final reason that I think it's worth defending. I'm not saying it's the greatest movie ever, but it's not the worst either. And like I said last time, not everything needs to be the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. There's a spectrum there. So this is what got me thinking about Avatar, was when and also keeping in mind that not everything is for everyone, and some things may be perfect for some people. Okay, so I'm with my kids at Disney World, and we walk into the Pandora area, and their eyes light up. There are floating pillar, whatever that, we've all seen them, but the floating Avatar
Islands.
land masses, in the sky, and they were blown away. And watching that is especially as a parent, is incredible. But also watching the other kids run in there and have their minds blown by it. My kids knew not a thing about Avatar, and yet they walk into this alien world, and the rides blew their minds. And as we're standing in the queue, she's seeing science experiments. My 7-year-old daughter is seeing science experiments, and she's asking, well, how does this stuff work? And she's watching the galaxy brain explosion of all of these things that are now possible in her mind. And so we come home and we watch Avatar, And I didn't have high expectations for that experience, quite frankly, but I watch her watch female scientists. I watch her watch female warriors standing toe-to-toe with tough guys, with bad guys, these military guys that want to push people around. And you have a female warrior who says, you're not going to push me around. She saw female heroes, and they stood up for what was right, even though it was hard. And I don't watch trailers, as you guys know, but when we finished it and the new trailer came out, YouTube recommended it to her, and so we watched it together. And when we finished that, she was so excited to see what's it called, The Way of Water, the sequel.
Yeah.
Electric Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, there you go. That she wanted. She then sees in the recommendations there's a trailer breakdown. She wants to know, well, what's that? I want to see them talk about what's going on in this trailer. And watching her get excited about that stuff is meaningful to me, not only because they're meaningful to her, but these are now experiences that I have gotten to have because of Avatar. And so, yeah, I'll defend it. And I don't know if the new one will be good or not, but it's got Michelle Yeoh and Jermaine Clements, and so show me what you got. I rest my case.
Them's jail sounds.
I think he did a great job.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
So
it makes you think.
It does, and I'm like, well, my thing about it is I watched it and I wasn't like enraged and I hated it, right?
No.
I was just like, not for me, It was pretty, and I was like, well, this is some pretty cool technology going on. But I also didn't understand why people were killing themselves because they were never going to live on Pandora.
I think
Remember
that's where my disconnect comes, in that, like, from a story perspective, it's average. From a technology perspective, at the time, it was
mind-blowing,
cutting edge.
Yeah.
100% agree there. And I think that's where my disconnect comes, in that I've seen movies with much better stories do much worse. And so I'm like, why does this mediocre story get to be the biggest box office earner of all time?
Well,
but when you combine it with the technology and the wow factor of the time, then I can see why. I guess it appeals to almost anyone from a story perspective, and I think that's kind of the way many average stories are. They have a broader appeal than the more like convoluted or perhaps interesting, if you will, stories have a more niche appeal.
Let me offer a reframing of that. Not to say that you're wrong, Tony. I think that I walked
about
out.
to call me wrong.
No, I walked out feeling kind of the same. I was like, that was visually it was a spectacle, and I'm really glad I saw it. And
sure.
My references were, I walked out, I saw it, one of the first showings, and I walked out thinking about Ferngully because I saw that when I was a kid. But when I look at art, whether it's a painting or a poem or a song or a film, one of the things I find really interesting is often it's the things that allow me to think that it means so many different things. There are so many different interpretations of this, and there are so many different themes going on that I could say, Tony, you and I could go, oh, well, that was just Ferngully, and other people could go, oh, that was just Pocahontas, and other people would say, oh, that was just Dances with Wolves, or it was aping Aliens. James Cameron just brought over all his alien stuff, but the interpretation, the audience reception is just as important to the artwork as what the art and the artist intended to do. And so I think James Cameron is a good enough artist that we can give him the benefit of the doubt that he was trying to do something with intent. And so the fact that it maybe was surface level across all of these different things, I think he was trying to allow for us to hang all these different things off of it, rather than it was just a derivative or plagiarism or whatever.
Well, and obviously it really has affected a lot of people very deeply. you know, and it's like, and I feel kind of bad now that I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, us refined genre viewers, right? We just shit on this movie and shit on it and shit on it.
Oh yeah.
And so people don't want to be like, well, it's one of my favorites because they're going to think I'm stupid.
Yeah,
And
Avatar fans, or they're afraid to step up and say they're Avatar fans,
And
which is
they're-
exactly where we were years and years ago with Star Trek
Yeah,
or stuff.
well, and also,
true.
I can't. One of the people in the chat room for the live recording said they're like Trump voters, right? They're not going to admit they're going to vote for Trump because you're going to think they're stupid and racist, right? But hey, the video, the trailer comes out for that, the new movie, and it slays every other trailer that's ever been.
Yeah.
You know, so.
All right. Oh, there you go.
Interesting.
Fine job, Mike. Thank you.
Yes. Well done,
I
sir.
agree.
Well done.
I agree.
I still don't like it.
And that's fine.
I appreciate its merits.
Yes.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Let's get to what we consumed. Who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Tony has notes. Go.
I got notes. Let's see. So, based on the ravings of the Holy Moly crew here, we started watching Holy Moly again, but back on season 2 because we only watched the first season.
Okay.
We did all of season 2 this last week.
You don't want to get lost in the storyline.
Yeah, exactly. So I got to start, back at the beginning. Man, that show's just so good. Rob Riggle and what's his face?
What's his face? Indeed.
Joe Tescatori.
Joe Tescatori.
Who is
They're
an
just-
actual? He's an actual like sports commentator.
Sports announcer, yeah. They do such a good job just playing off each
Oh,
other.
God,
it's fantastic.
It kills me, and you can just tell that Joe has such a good fucking time. And
Exactly.
And it's Rob Riggle's mission in life now to break it.
Yep.
You know,
it's
it's really easy to do.
Yep.
I didn't mention this last week, but I did watch it, and I remembered to put it on the list for this year. The season finale of Winning Time was last week. I don't think I mentioned it. Anyway, I just love that show. That show is just so fascinating. I don't care really about basketball, but I love Winning Time. The Halo finale was last week. Let me tell you. Give me my 5 minutes to talk about Halo, the TV show.
All right.
You have the floor, Senator.
Because
I don't
I'm
have
back
5
in,
minutes.
by the way.
I don't have 5 minutes worth of material here, but I quite liked that first season. I thought it was a great example of a show starting off okay and then getting better as the season went. So I highly recommend that one. And then my wife and I last night watched the Chippendales Rescue Ranger movie.
I'm watching that tonight.
You guys, you gotta watch this. It's a new Who Framed Roger Rabbit, basically.
Yeah, I as
you watch
well,
it too?
Tony, watched it last night with
same.
Sue.
Yeah.
And you know what's
And
funny? Carrie,
It's got so much in there.
So much.
So much.
so much easier for Disney to do now because they
they
fucking
own
own everything, right?
Exactly.
Oh, but there are non-Disney things
Yeah.
that show up in here, and I'm not going to
Yeah.
spoil it because
But
all
I'm-
the
The filmmakers literally thanked their lawyers for
Yes.
making the movie happen.
But also, all the other places are a little scared of Disney.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
Okay, don't hurt
you
us.
can use
Disney.
our toys for a minute.
but it's not for kids. It's for people like in their 30s and 40s.
Yep.
like
my
Tony's
kids
age.
did love it though. They
they did.
loved
They'll
it.
still. I think they'll still enjoy it.
We
but-
watched it last night and had to watch it again this morning, so I've seen it twice
okay.
already.
All right.
It's like Roger Rabbit. Kids could
Yeah.
look at it and go, wow.
That's a lot of fun. Let me tell you though, if you're of the age that you grew up watching the Disney afternoon cartoons after school,
I did, even though I shouldn't have.
yeah, and this will be such delight for you to watch.
It's funny. It's the
funny.
best part.
John Mulaney and Andy Samberg are Chippendale, and they are fantastic. You have J.K. Simmons. You have Will Arnett. You have Seth Rogen.
Who's the voice of Peter Pan?
Will
spoilers.
Arnett. Yeah.
Will Arnett. Well,
Spoilers.
it's in the trailer.
It's in the trailer, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I highly recommend it. I think I'd give it like a 4 out of 5. I just had a blast watching it.
And here's the thing, is that it goes a step further than Roger Rabbit, because Roger Rabbit incorporated only two-dimensional animation.
Yeah.
In this one, they incorporate putty, the claymation.
Everything. You have
There are
claymation.
claymation characters. There are computer-generated characters.
Right, because one of the
And
chipmunks got the surgery, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And different kinds of computer animation.
Yeah.
And sock
exactly.
puppets.
And
There's
Muppets.
And Muppets.
Muppets
the
and sock puppets
fuck
show up.
It's so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yes.
I
It's
loved it.
all there. It's just so much fun. You'll be pausing every 2 minutes.
You will.
Or even more often than that, just to say, oh, there was that. I mean, there is actual references to Who Framed Roger Rabbit in there as well. There's two obvious ones. Well, one's obvious because it's Roger Rabbit, but there's another one in there. If you watch near the end of the movie, there's another reference to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it makes you go, oh, dang. That's kind of insidious. And
And Who Framed Roger Rabbit's one of my favorite movies. I
Oh,
just
me too.
fucking love that movie.
Me
All right.
too.
I will go next since I was going to lead with the Chippendale. Thank you, Tony. I'll take the handoff. I'm watching a show. Lee, you were asking for a show that shows the 80s for what it really was.
Yes.
Not nostalgic at all.
No.
Well, the show is called Candy.
Okay.
And
Oh.
it's a murder.
I talked about this last week. I watched
Yes.
it too.
Here's the thing: is that they raided every vintage store that they could to get all of the clothes and the
man.
phones
The
and
Tupperware.
the Tupperware. Sue and I are sitting and watching this, going, "We had that. We had that."
Yeah. No,
oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Carrie, I like several female friends of mine on Facebook. We're like, don't watch Candy because you're going to get obsessed and you're going to go and try and find.
You're going to go and
vintage
try to
Tupperware.
find all that shit.
No, you're going to specifically. You're going to go and try to find vintage Tupperware.
Well, and what's even funnier is that the lead, Jessica Biel,
Unrecognizable.
unrecognizable, and at one point my mom dressed and looked exactly like her.
Right.
Same hair, same glasses, and I'm just like, my mom. That's my mom when she was younger.
And Carrie, I never thought I would find that actress. I never thought I'd be uncomfortable watching her in a scene where she masturbates in the tub.
No, don't
Boilers.
Don't give too much away. But,
But that's not good. But I was like, this should be really hot to me right now.
Yeah,
But it's just not.
But it's not. Every member of the cast is extremely good. You got Master Chief is in it. Tony, you should watch.
Pablo Schreiber.
Pablo Schreiber. He's but it takes great pains to let you know when it is, and I was able to pick it up because the first episode they're talking about, let's go see the new Star Wars movie. I went,
Empire.
It's 1980. And then there's a review of The Shining in the paper, and I'm like, yep,
That's
1980.
Yeah,
That's way cool.
Justin Timberlake, it took me a long time to realize that was him. For some reason.
Oh, I'll have to go back and look again. I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, he was the cop, Carrie.
Oh, really? Okay, I got to go back and look again.
Yeah,
All
that's
right. Okay.
Justin Timberlake, the deputy sheriff.
Anyway,
Are him and Jessica Biel
they're
together?
married. Yeah.
Yeah, they're married.
Anyway,
See,
42.
okay, so I wasn't crazy. That makes me happy.
Okay, good. Also, 42 years on this day, Empire Strikes Back was released, May the 21st. As we
my
record
God.
this, May the 21st, 1900.
We might have been all in the same line
We probably were.
42
Not
years
me.
ago.
All right, who's
I'll
next?
go next because I've got a third vote for Chippendale. But Chaos Gate, Demon Hunters for the PC is out and on sale. This is Warhammer meets XCOM. It's awesome. It's very highly reviewed, and it's on sale for $46 through Humble Bundle if you're into that sort of thing. Borderlands 3 is for free on the Epic Game Store right now. So check that out. And then I'll just quickly plug, if you're into this sort of thing, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch is still, season 3 is still airing on the History Channel. It's now History Channel's biggest show, and it's a lot of fun. And then check out the Yesternights, my little synthesizing influences from the 70s through the 2000s. We've got new music coming out here soon. So the Yesternights is wherever you can listen to music, and new stuff soon.
It's good stuff, Mike.
Thanks.
Who's next?
I could go.
All right.
Well, guys, I know you've been I watch it, so you don't have to.
Oh, Masked Singer.
Masked Singer.
I just knew it.
The finale was this week. So we had our last ones were the Prince. It was a frog dude. The Ringmaster, who was a ringmaster poodle fucking thing. I don't know. And a Firefly. Well, it was a fucking Firefly.
Huh.
So.
I don't know what these words mean, but I'm listening.
Okay. So, the first one, the Prince, after singing a just wonderful rendition of Viva La Vida by Coldplay, well, we found out that was actor Cheyenne Jackson. And everybody goes, who? Yeah, me too. And then our runner-up was the Ringmaster, who sang Waking Up in Vegas by Katy Perry. Was you know who Katy Perry is? Come on. Was revealed to be Goldberg's actress, Haley Orentaya, the sister.
The sister. She's a professional singer as well.
She actually was really fantastic. She goes, she's like, basically, she goes, thank God my show's getting canceled and I can sing.
Did she say that?
I just kind of read into it. It was my own.
Oh, okay.
And then the winner, after singing a stirring performance of Gravity by Sarah Bareilles, that was Teyana Taylor.
Why does that sound familiar?
I'll Google her.
Teyana.
No idea.
Yeah, right.
Taylor.
Yeah, so that's what I love about that show. It's always very anticlimactic.
Oh, okay.
My go-to when I'm going through hard times is, of course, Family Feud, and I think I finally figured it out.
Figured out the game?
No, why I watch so much Family.
Why I watch so the one that gets the most likes, like answers. That's how you win.
Right, but I figured out why it's my go-to when I'm feeling shitty. Okay.
Is it still hosted by Steve Harvey?
Fuck yes, it is.
Well, then that's why, because it's hilarious.
Once Steve Harvey dies, that show should never be shown again.
Unless his beneficiaries license his likeness to
Genius
hologram.
So I was texting back and forth to a friend. I go, my go-to is Family Feud. I put my brain into neutral and tell the contestants how fucking stupid they are. The best is that Steve Harvey looks into the camera, which is de facto me, and says, "Ooh, damn, Shannon, I agree." And we just laugh and laugh and laugh. And I go, actually, I think I just watched too much Family Feud. And then, oh my God, I devoured the new Kids in the Hall shit. Devoured it.
I gotta watch that tonight, this weekend.
Well, I wasn't going to give you a warning, Carrie, but I will.
Oh, is there wieners?
I wanted to hurt. I wanted to hurt you. You know how stuff comes back?
Yeah.
And I'll specifically when Mr. Show tried to do another season.
Yeah.
And it wasn't good.
It was not great.
It was not great. This was great. It had the perfect amount of nostalgia, but it was also challenging and relevant and weird. And I'm like, how are these 60-year-old motherfuckers still this sharp and still so goddamn funny. And they didn't overuse their old characters. They would show up in like perfect ways. If it worked, right? No chicken lady. Sorry, Carrie.
Oh.
You know, but they just, I guess they couldn't figure out a way to fit her in, right? And I love that they didn't fit things in just to fit them in, right?
Yeah.
I think it's one of the best revivals I've ever seen.
Oh, there you go.
Carrie, the first episode.
Okay.
So it starts out like their opening thing is these girls are at a like a rummage sale, and Scott Thompson is playing his hippie character he plays every once in a while, and they pick up a VHS copy of Brain Candy, and she's like, "What is this?" And he goes, "Oh, it was a misguided project by a '90s sketch troupe. They tried to make a movie, and reaction was middling to best, right? At best." And they're like, "Well, how much?" And he goes, $1. "Well, we'll buy it." And all of a sudden, like, all this lightning and shit goes off. And he goes, "The curse has been lifted. Brain Candy has made its money back." Like after 30 years, right? And yeah, and the rummage sale disappears, and we cut to the Stummy's office with Marv and Dave Foley's character. And he's like, "So I guess the curse has been lifted," and it goes from there. It was just a perfect setup.
Well,
but the first actual skit, Carrie.
Well, we got to hurry.
Okay, first actual skit. You do see, and finally, in my opinion, Dave Foley and Kevin McDonald's uncut dicks.
Okay.
bouncing up and down at one point. So
Shannon says it's about time.
It's about goddamn
The curse
time.
has been lifted.
Lee, what have you consumed?
I got nothing.
Okay. Games.
Oh, right. Games. Let's see. There's only a few, so I'll just list them off here. I don't know how to say this one. We'll call it Token Ranbu Warriors on the Switch. Hard Space Shipbreaker on the PC. Crossfire Legion Steam Early Access on the PC.
You fucking make these up.
Nope, these are real deal. Real deal McNeil's right here. My Time at Sandrock, Steam Early Access. One called Acolyte. And then the one that a few people are actually looking forward to is Sniper Elite 5, if you like to shoot up some Nazis. Sniper Elite 5 is coming out. That's the one where it shows you the bullet travel, and then you get to see as it hits the Nazi's body where it goes in, what kind of damage it does to the anatomy of the body, and then exits. It's very, very graphic, and I guess anatomically educational. I don't know.
Educational. All right. And that's it?
That's it. Oh, that's it.
All right. Mr. B, if you would, please.
Well, you guys, I'm not a spiritual man, but I sincerely hope that Tilly is up having the best goddamn ham dinner with Uncle Jeff and Uncle Jimmy.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That's good. Thank you all for joining us, chat room. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are the wind beneath our knees.
Yes.
Our knees?
Yeah, that's how it goes, right? That's how the song goes, right?
I think you got it.
No.
Wind
It's
between
close.
my knees. I don't know. I didn't.
I
listen to
create
that
wind
number.
between my knees all the time. My wife hates it.
Oh.
It's like that song I love. I believe the children are our fuck-ups. Is that how it goes?
Yeah,
That's how it
I
goes,
like
yeah.
that.
I think it's close, yeah.
It's, right after the Who's Teenage Waitress.
Yeah.
It's a great song. Everybody loves it.
Waitress.
It's a great
Teenage
song.
Waitress, yeah.
Teenage
Waitress.
Oh, I was already there. I got it.
She's a waitress! Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right. Bye, everybody. Chat room.
And again, fair.
We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.